Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
And you know what? I feel like I got a little feeling that baseball's not dead, Joe, because I've been reading some of these numbers, some of these ratings numbers, some of these viewership numbers, Joe. Can you, Joe, can you tell the people about the viewership numbers for the division series by any chance?
Yeah, I probably pull that up.
Yeah, please pull it up. Pull it up for the people.
I could Google it.
I mean, by the way, I think it's always crazy
I don't have it off the top of my head.
I know you don't have it off the top of your head, but I know that you're the guy when we want viewership numbers and then putting in the context of how many people in Japan are watching, which always just puts America to shame. It's like we're playing in the United States. It's America's favorite pastime, but Japan's just like, yeah, well, we just care about it significantly more than you guys, which is true. They do. And they prove that close. The viewership numbers. Yeah.
Not even close.
No.
So like, I don't know, all these playoff numbers, they always, every single one has like some small caveat to it. They said like the first couple games of the DS had like a 40% increase from last year. I think so far, like the entire playoffs is up 18% from last year. They're saying that they said that the fucking Padres Dodgers series was the most watched DS, comparable DS since Fox FS1 started broadcasting it, which I don't know what comparable means, but I guess the National League Divisional Series. Anyway, so good records. In Japan, was able to find one TV rating from Japan so far, which pisses me off because there was 5 games. But for the Japan, for Shohei versus
Darvish.
No, it wasn't Darvish.
I thought it was Darvish.
No, I didn't get those numbers. I accidentally tweeted the wrong numbers, so you probably saw the first tweet.
And I did, yeah.
Because, okay, listen, these articles are in Japanese. I don't know fucking Japanese.
You can't read that shit?
Yeah.
I can't read that shit yet. And so I'm like Google Translate, like TV ratings, Dodgers, Padres, NLDS, playoffs, MLB playoffs, shit like this. And I go to the article and it's all in Japanese. You translate it. It tells you all the numbers. I'm like, damn, that's a good number. And I tweeted out this whole thing about how they got like 10 million viewers, 13 million viewers. And then someone replies with the article that I linked, like, dude, this is from March. Like this is Padres versus Dodgers in Korea. So I fucked that up. But I found another one. Game 1 in Japan got 9.5 million people, which I believe is enough. That's 3 times more than like the record-breaking numbers that the NLDS got this year in that series.
See, Jake,
not in game 2. The biggest game's got like 7 million.
What I respect so much more about Joe than Tyler is Tyler will just read what someone else wrote and then just like quote it in his tweet and then tag the person, be like, oh, from fucking da-da-da. Like Joe's out here reading Japanese articles, trying to translate them so that he can share that to the American public. Whereas Tyler's just like, yeah, everyone already read this, but I'm going to just regurgitate it from someone else. Like Joe's out here trying to learn another fucking language.
And I respect that, but maybe to defend Milky here, he's not just firing off completely random shit. Like, I don't know how much reading has helped with Joe and has helped us receive the information we're after. So I appreciate the effort from Joe. Joe, keep it up. Well, it means you're not doing it right. I'm not knocking him for it. I'm okay with it.
But Dallas, the difference between Milky and Joe,
I know, is Milky's not trying. Milky,
no. Joe will go out here and he will translate articles from Yahoo Japan. We're not competing with Yahoo Japan. Like it's not like Joe's like, hey, I heard this stat on Talking Baseball. Like Tyler will go out and be like, hey, competitive podcast, like had this great quote and then tweet the video so that they get more views and then tag the show. It's like, dude, where do you think you got fucking half your Twitter followers from? Like you're just filtering our followers into these other shows. Whereas Joe is like, today I'm learning Japanese so that these people can understand the context of how many people are watching in Japan.
Joe's breaking down the fucking forkball to some small village in Tibet. And, and Milky is just fucking.
He just promotes the competition. That's what he does.
I tried. Milky, I tried.
That's all he does.
So they just released this 13 hours ago in the Japanese media. It's hitting all over Japan. It's all the newspapers. They got the TV ratings from Game 5. Yamamoto versus Darvish. According to survey,
14 mil.
I think a lot more than that. The individual viewer. Oh, maybe you're. Oh shit, Dal. Okay, so they said 11.3%. How many people in Japan? I forget. 125 million.
Okay, quick math here.
Yeah, that's got me. Yeah, it's got me at 14%.
You got Joe reading Japanese and doing math. That's when you get into some
really
risky waters.
I said 14%, dude.
No, what'd you say?
14 mil.
Dude, 13.7 million.
Wow.
In Japan.
Nailed.
Wow.
That's napkin math, baby. That's Japanese math is what that is.
Yeah.
So, and this game happened at I want to say it was 9 a.m. on a Saturday in Japan.
That's a pretty good time slot.
It is.
That's an incredible time slot. Are you kidding? That's Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to watch real life superheroes battle it out playing your country's favorite sport.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that's a great time slot.
That's a layup.
What time was it? Eastern?
Here it was. Here it was 8 o'clock, I believe.
Okay, so 8 p.m. here is 9 a.m. there.
I believe so. Something like that. It was in the morning on a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like a full day ahead.
And our viewership in America, the
I like
record.
how Joe's information is always it's around here, close enough.
Yeah, I mean, I just have to be honest. I'm not the fucking smartest guy. I don't have a fucking psycho memory, and I'm not gonna just say shit and say this is 100% fact because I fuck shit up all the time. I did it yesterday. I tweeted out this thing was up for 12 hours. That's why I put the article underneath because I'm like, guys, read this, and if this is wrong, someone tell me so I can change it because there's a good chance something's a little wrong about this.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, that's just integrity, and don't let anybody ever cheat you out of that. You have it, and you show it. Don't let anybody ever tell you different.
Well, he's a risk taker. He risks getting chastised on the internet because he wants to share this information that he's excited about, and he wants to get it right. And I respect that so much.
And Milky's like, you know what? I don't know. Just go look at these guys. Go.
Yeah. Milky's just like, hey, competing podcast. You had a really interesting interview. Here's the full quotes. Here's the link to download. Here's their social media just in case you want to follow them. And I give it 10 out of 10 stars. I actually just went on iTunes and gave it a 10 out of 10 rating. That's his social media.
It's funny because I have to be real honest right now. I got all this from Ben Verlander's podcast.
Hell yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I listen to it every morning first thing so I get the good info.
Yeah, it's a good listen.
But to wrap it up, that's twice as many people watched Game 5 of the NLDS in Japan than in America. Twice as many.
That's not surprising in the least bit.
Nope.
What is surprising is that some people out there don't have the Underdog Fantasy app. That's what surprises me. Yeah.
What?
I'm just like, wait, how? How is that a thing? Well, October is when baseball legends are made. Begin your road to greatness on Underdog, where you can make picks on all your favorite player stats. All you have to do is choose higher or lower on things like strikeouts, total bases, and home runs. You can win up to 1,000 times your money playing their pick'em game. Sign up for Underdog using promo code Jared. That's Jared. And you'll get a free pick as part of your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Again, that's promo code Jared, Jared. Cash in on every home run during the playoffs with Underdog. Speaking of the playoffs, some of the Royals players unfollowed me on social media. And I think it's because here's the tweet that probably did it, Dal. Here's the tweet that I think maybe ruffled some feathers over there is where I said, and I stand by, I think the Orioles would have put up a better fight against the Yankees. And everyone's like, well, what makes you think that? The Orioles got swept in back-to-back postseasons. They haven't won a playoff game with this group. I don't know. The Orioles just played the Yankees tougher during the season. The Royals had 2 7-game losing streaks at the end there. I don't think that it's not like they went into the playoffs hot. The Orioles kind of righted the ship a little bit towards the end, but yeah, I could see in the heat of the moment when you're out there on the field of battle, DB, the emotions get the best of you, and maybe you get upset at someone that was an ally of yours, was an advocate, was a supporter of yours. Some would even say a friend, someone that maybe exchanged message with you about professional wrestling, your interests away from baseball. You guys really bonded, and then all of a sudden it's just gone like that. It's just gone like that. So I'm not saying I'm holding on. Like, this individual unfollowed me. I did not unfollow him. I'm gonna let him cool off, and I'm gonna let him come back. I'm gonna let him come back because I know he's gonna come back.
Feels like this individual may feel like they've got some ground to stand on.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm acknowledging that would probably, if I just gave my all in a playoff series and I feel like I gave 110%, and then I see this asshole being like, there's another team that would have put up a better fight and we didn't put up a good fight. And, and the other tweet was when I said the Yankees had the easiest path to the World Series in history, which is true. Like, I stand by that tweet as well. I could see why it would be upsetting, but I stand by both tweets. Easiest path to the World Series of all time, and I think the Orioles would have put up a better fight. But if you're on the Royals, yeah, maybe those tweets would have upset me. Sure.
Yeah, I think it's more than fair to understand why there'd be a little animosity, especially if you are somebody who has decided to cross the threshold of professionalism and develop a personal relationship with an individual.
I didn't say anything about him, though.
No. That's just all part of it. And I'm not being super serious when I don't want to get super serious about this, but just that's part of the give and take you have here. And I think players are filling that out, figuring that out just as much as media members are. Like, okay, I am friends with this individual. Does that remove me from the group of people who can critique them? Or does that actually put me in a position where I can not only critique them, but I might be able to swing the hammer a little harder simply because I have that relationship? Like, that's how I know, some of my relationships with the guys on our team are, where I am well within the realm and well within my right because of our personal relationship, where I might say some shit that nobody else would say. And it's because they know where I'm coming from. They know how I feel about them. And they know that what I'm saying right now is at no point a personal attack, and it's all just about who they are. And I'm able to say some things that makes that individual aware of where I'm coming from. And we don't ever have to have that back and forth. It's basically like a brother talking to a brother. Yeah.
And I think why I'll never back down on this one is because if you do have a personal relationship with me, then you should know better than to take it personal when you were playing the Yankees. If the Royals were playing the Orioles in that series and they lost, couldn't give a fuck. It's like, you were playing the Yankees and you lost, so I'm not going to be happy about that. Like, you're going to take a tongue lashing as a unit. I didn't call out anybody by name. I just was, disappointed that the Royals didn't beat the Yankees. That's all. And if you know me, then that shouldn't surprise you, and you shouldn't take it personally. But
would you like to take this?
That's why I'm giving this individual. You have until the sometimes he listens to the pod.
Wow. Ultimatum.
Yep. You have until the Royal Rumble to shake that one off and refollow me, or else I'm out. We cut ties, and that's it.
Vinny Pasquantino?
I'm going to let him. I'm going to let this individual. Shake this one off and come back to me. And if not, then that's okay. We don't have to be friends anymore.
Wasn't a tough read, Joe. It's great job.
That's my guess.
That's not true. I have multiple players in the Royals that follow me.
Or I'd also encourage this person, you can listen to this podcast and just like not listen to the parts where Jared talks too. Like, still reason to download.
Yeah, trust me. Once Dallas gets cooking, I mean, I'm not saying a fucking word for 20 minutes.
You can lay out for 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
See?
You got a lot of Joe off the top here today. Yeah, just keep come on back, Vinny.
Yep.
Or whoever
whoever it is. You may also notice, Dallas, that this shirt has a lot of wrinkles in it. You want to know why?
Because you pulled it out of your wallet?
Because I pulled it out of a fucking laundry bag that I owned in New York City. Remember when I think it was like during the starting 9 days, I would just wear a different minor league t-shirt every single show.
Yeah.
Well, I'm bringing that back.
Isotopes?
Yep. I'm bringing that back. Because every time that we do the show, I'm like, I feel like I wore that 2 weeks ago. Like, I don't want to, like, whenever we put out the social clips, I don't want to be wearing the same thing in repetitive clips. So here's the solution. Minor league teams.
I have such a different perspective on that. I'm like, you know what? Give me 3 to 5 shirts that I can wear consistently on this fucking thing so that every time I'm up there, I'm just the same. Yeah, I just look the same. I don't care at all, which is why I've worn this Rosebud shirt. If we've done 250 episodes, maybe 239 of them, I just don't care. But I respect that. I think the minor league characters they need to be celebrated. The logos need to be celebrated. There's some fantastic logos out there. So yeah, I appreciate that. I respect it. I also, while you were getting t-shirts, I was receiving hats. Cause I wear a hat a lot on the podcast. And so, that was also something that was how in my heart of hearts, I feel dirty if I wear anything other than a Stockton Ports minor league hat.
I have Stockton Ports merch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, Ports merch is solid. And I'm not just saying that because it's my hometown minor league team. Like their merch is fucking legit.
I think that is why you're saying it, but
no, a lot of military members love the merch as well. Cause they've got a sailor looking dude, a dock worker, if you will.
Like a Popeye?
He's a port. But yeah, we'll call him a Popeye. Yeah.
I've got some Stockton Ports though. I'm going to add it to the rotation. I'm looking at it right now. I got a whole laundry basket full of some college stuff and some minor league stuff. And that's going to be my attire on the show from moving forward. This
guy is a gritty Popeye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's a gruff. Is that him holding a piece of asparagus?
You're damn right it is, Jayhay.
Is that anything related to the previously discussed Asparagus Festival?
You're damn right it is,
Jayhay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a callback.
I don't forget.
Stockton is the asparagus capital of the world.
Well, just to remind everybody, don't go to the Asparagus Festival in Massachusetts because it was a huge ripoff.
Yes, it will. Because that's what happens when you go to Boston, Massachusetts for an asparagus festival. Come on, what are you doing? That's a poor.
Well, just to be clear, it was not Boston; it was Hadley. But yeah, not the true asparagus capital of the world.
Yeah.
No, Hadley can catch these asparagus hands too.
Yeah. Speaking of Boston traditions, went to the Topsfield Fair yesterday. Man, the some of the games that they had going, the old throw the fucking baseball at the 3 bottles game. Fell for it, dude. I mean,
you didn't win?
No. Of course I got there, but like $50 later, it's like 10 bucks, $10 for 3 throws. And I did I was with D-Train and her youngest daughter. And we walked by it and she saw one of the plush toys up there. And I did the old, which one do you want? It's like 10 bucks for 3 throws. I was like, hey, which one of these do you want? So you can't lead with that and then not. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. But no, so like, here's the thing, Dallas. The 3 bottles, I just had too much pinpoint accuracy. Like my first go at it, I was knocking the top bottle off the 2. Like I was just like, like that's almost more impressive. Like 2 bottles with 1 on top and to just, I was like, I'm too locked in. I'm too locked in right now.
Did you go leg kick? Tell me you went leg kick.
Oh yeah. Like I like, they were like, you can go up to this line. Like you can get this close. And I was like, I almost feel like it's a disadvantage to be that close. So I went further back. Like I was probably 45 feet away when you're like allowed to be 10 feet away.
Did you start moving closer as you realized that it wasn't a disadvantage? Or?
No. Yeah. I was moving back to the point where like there was one point where one of the throws, I was like came set and like when my arm went back here, I like hit someone walking by and I was like, I need to restart. I was like, you can't bump into me when I'm in my motion, dude.
Yeah.
Like have some feel.
We got Jared trying to control the fucking running game during a fucking milk bottle toss.
Yeah.
Like
it was bad, dude. I was in a lot of pain, but you know what? She ended up getting a stuffed toy, named it Penelope. Everyone was happy. Ended up going to the trade show, bought a massage chair, $13,500. You know, it was a hell of a day. It was a hell of a day to have a day.
Does the massage chair have a social security number?
I mean, it should tongue your ass at that point. Like for that. But I got it at a good price. That's what it goes for on the open market, but you lock it in at a good deal. So I got a good deal.
It's a person with very leathery skin. That's what it is. You just sit in them.
Yeah. No, it's a good massage chair, but at the end of the day, baseball wins. You know, baseball wins out. We get the stuffed Penelope, everyone's happy.
I like the idea of you keep moving back because you're like, I got too much natural tail on my ball, you know, so I gotta keep going back, you know, a little further.
I mean, it was almost like when we did the dunk tank with Milky, it's like you got to move back a little bit. Like you can't get like too close. I mean, I don't know. Dallas, you can relate to this as a pitcher. You know, so if the closer you are, like you need to be further back so that you can like zip one in there and hit your spot. Like if you're too close, like baseball players aren't used to the target being that close.
No, so I wasn't going to tell the story because I like your story. I had a very similar interaction on 420, the year 2000.
Okay, going back a little
bit. Instead of going to school, we decided to take a trip up to Santa Cruz, which is a lovely surf town in Northern California. And we went up on the boardwalk. Shout out the Giant Dipper, one of the oldest wooden roller coasters still kicking in Cali, maybe in the country. But we're on the boardwalk and boom, fucking milk bottle toss comes, right? And remind you, it's 420. All right. If I were to open my eyes any wider than they were at the time, I could have probably bled to death. Like I couldn't even see my hand in front of me, let alone anything in front of me. But me and my two buddies walk up to the deal. And my buddy, who was the quarterback on the football team at the time, is like, let's go. Football, baseball. Let's see what you got, motherfucker. And I was like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. And I got as close as I could and threw the ball. And my extension, I was basically like handing the ball to the milk bottles and just boom, blew it up. Milk bottles everywhere. And I looked right at my friend, just completely baked. And he was like, it's not that easy, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it is, dude. Pretty sure it is.
Easy.
Yeah, he went back and like you scooted back. And I was like, it's a done deal, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to lose. And he fucking bang, bang. Like you said, we'd have been there all fucking day waiting for him to blow shit up.
Yeah. I feel like, you got to, baseball players, I would imagine if you're a carny that works the bottle game, that you have people that don't play baseball that go right up to it. And then the people that do play baseball probably want to take a few feet, step back.
Well, I want to step back so that when I let go of this thing, I'm as close to my target as I could have possibly been.
Yeah.
And just boop.
Shout out to us for being way ahead of the curve on Mark Vientos, huh? How about it? How about a little call to action being like, oh, hey, you guys, there's a player to look out for in this series. Clap it up. Clap it up.
I don't think he could have done any gooder.
Oh, see what he did there?
Crack to right center field. Pajes on the move to the track. He couldn't find it. That's because it's over the wall. Grand slam, Vientos.
I tell you what, I like the fact that this series, and I know that it ended up finishing, 7-3 in game 2 last night. But at one point it was 6-0. So it felt like haymaker for haymaker. I like that. I like when a series is like, fuck you. No, fuck you. It ended up being 7-3. It was still, did it still end up being a save for Edwin Diaz? Did he come in during a save situation and finish it out? No, I think I'm thinking of Class A.
Yeah, Diaz did not.
5. I'm thinking of Class A in game 5 where he entered in a save situation, but it wasn't a save situation by the time he finished it out. Either way, I love that. The Dodgers come out game 1, firing, beat the brakes off the Mets in game 1. And everyone's sitting here thinking, well, this is not going to be a competitive series. The Mets are completely overmatched. And then here comes old Mark Vientos in game 2. Grand slam opens up a 6-0 lead. Mets get a little sloppy at the end there. The defense not looking super great, not super locked in over there, but ends up being a 7-3 final for the Mets to even up that series, heading back to the East Coast, Citi Field for game 3. Let's start
all about
there.
the top of their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Francisco Lindor. The leadoff homer kind of set the tone. It was a battle. It wasn't like a first, second pitch type leadoff home run. How many pitch at bat was that, Jayhay?
Sorry. It was either the first or second pitch that he hit, I want to say.
Are you sure?
Sorry. Wrong a bet. 8 pitch home run.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like it was a
I was
battle.
thinking the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3 straight foul balls before the homer.
There you go. Francisco Lindor battling to set the tone for the Mets. I guess we can start with game 1. Impressions from game 1, Joseph.
Impressions from game 1 was that it was just kind of like the same way the Mets have started every series so far. Get your shit pushed in immediately. Go down and let the Dodgers score 9 runs on you. It was a blowout. Off the bat. Senga looked hurt. I guess that's probably the biggest thing for the Mets. Like, Dallas was all over it. He did not look good. I mean, how many balls did he throw? And if he's not going to be like, that's a big loss for the Mets.
He threw 5 pitches or whatever it was. And I texted the thread immediately. I was like, Senga is not right. And then I was like, dude, this is not, you could just tell everything was flat. There was zero life, zero finish on his pitches. There was nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. And that is extremely scary in my opinion, because these were outs that you were hoping to get from Senga. And not only did you not get any of those outs, or a very limited few of those outs did you get, now you have to figure out how you're going to come up with those outs next time around. Because I'm not sure that Senga takes the ball again. And if he does, I don't know what you can expect. I think you probably got to expect something more similar to what we just saw than any sort of breakout or solid run he had during the year.
Yeah, I'm curious if they actually start him again, or if they just pull him out the bullpen. But then also, it's like, what would you rather do with him? If you got a guy,
Joe, we can't pull him out of the bullpen. Joe, no swing and misses, zero swing and misses. We can't do that. That's where that's the only folks who live in the bullpen in October, bud. Do you got swing and miss down there? Because if not, your ass is off the block, homie. Sorry.
Not to be contrarian, but like, to me, what stood out more, I mean, that obviously stood out, but like, my expectations for what Senga was going to deliver in the postseason in this series were pretty muted overall. Like, to me, the Jack Flaherty performance on the other side was what stood out, because I had noted some swing and miss concerns in the podcast prior to his start. His overall line in the Padres series was not the sort of stuff that you're looking for out of your number 1, number 2, whatever you think of Flaherty at this point. And I think that start was convincing enough where, like, you can kind of put that other stuff in the trash at this point, and, renewed confidence or whatever in Jack Flaherty taking the mound in this series. So that to me was the standout thing, because I think it was asking a lot of Senga to. Obviously, you want more than what he showed, but I just think it was asking a lot for him to shoulder any substantial load in this series or this postseason, given the way that his season has played out with the injuries and the lack of pitching.
Well, yeah. I agree that there's probably a bigger ask from Senga to have him go out and give you what you would hope or what you would expect. But I think that's why, and not taking anything away from the performance of Flaherty, but when I look at where the Mets are going to go from here, even after being able to punch back in game 2, you have to think that Senga has to factor in, and he was going to factor in. Now it's just factoring in a way that they did not want to think about. And that is what is like, okay, You can be excited about what the offense was able to overcome in game 2 and what they were able to do, but it feels like there's going to need to be much more of that consistently, because where do the outs come from? I mean, Manaea, and we don't need to get into game 2 because that was fucking outstanding as well. But for game 1, for Flaherty to come out and frankly dominate the way he did, and the offense allow him to continue to go back out there and get the outs, it was just a beautiful symbiotic relationship that unfolded in game 1 between Flaherty and the offense.
I was happy for Jack Flaherty. His mom was there, called her down after the game. Being a local boy, I'm sure she has sat for many a game watching Jack pitch. And just having him have a start like that in the postseason, because think about this dude's journey. Like, I remember when he was with St. Louis, and that it was a kind of a tough ending for him there, where he knew that the writing was on the wall. Like, I remember when the Cardinals came to Boston, and I was like, yeah, man, like let's meet up or something. He just wanted to take a walk by himself and just zone out. Like, he wanted to be in his own space, and to get traded to Baltimore, where that doesn't necessarily go super great. You have to settle for a 1-year deal in free agency with the Tigers, who, yeah, they made the postseason, but like, let's not forget that the Tigers were not exactly, right. Yeah, that was not like a destination signing in the offseason. It wasn't like, I'm going to Detroit because we're going to the fucking playoffs this year. Like, that was not a thing when he signed in free agency. Then you get dealt again to the Dodgers, and you're like, okay, like, I pitched well enough to where this team that has World Series aspirations, potentially the World Series favorite, they want me. Like, I've said that before about the Yankees in the 90s and the early 2000s. It was almost more of an honor to get traded to or signed by the Yankees than it was to make the All-Star team. The Yankees want me? Holy fuck. Now you could say the same thing about the Dodgers. The Dodgers want me? Holy shit. So to go from how it ended in St. Louis, where it was at in Baltimore, basically having to sign with the Tigers, to now being acquired by the Dodgers for a pennant push, and you go out there and shove in game 1 of the NLCS, like, that has to be in front of your mom. Like, that has to be an awesome, awesome feeling. So yeah, I got a lot of enjoyment out of that start from the baseball fan perspective of just getting to watch a really good outing by a really good pitcher. But then you just kind of factor in the backstory of his recent journey, and you're like, fuck yeah, dude, like, good for you.
Well, it had been it's a bumpy road to success. And here he is, having seemingly done everything that he needed to do to put himself and keep himself in a position to be competitive, in a position to be on competitors' radars. And now here you are, pitching in the postseason in your own backyard. Not sure It gets much better.
Yep. So that was game 1. Trying to think, who was the standout offensive performer in game 1 for the Dodgers?
Shohei,
Kike.
Shohei and your boy too.
Kike?
Well, Mook had 3 ribs.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget about Freddie with the broken ankle. 2 hits.
Yep.
2 knocks.
RBI.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to 2 individuals. Freddie Freeman, and it's actually funny that they're kind of connected. Freddie Freeman playing in the 3:00 start after the night game with a fucked up ankle, and then Anthony Rizzo, who was added to the ALCS roster after being left off the Division Series roster by the Yankees, getting the start, batting 8th for the New York Yankees, 16 days after breaking his fucking hand, like fracturing fingers in his hand or whatever it was.
Yeah,
but what?
That appears to have potentially reared its head, which is why Anthony Rizzo
defensively,
was lifted.
Defensively, yeah, but I know that still counts, that still matters. But had a rip base hit back up the middle, in not complaining about it. They're like, "What's your pain? Like, what's your pain level at right now?" And he's like, 0. He's like, when there's 50,000 people screaming at Yankee Stadium, like, the adrenaline takes over, and I will feel no pain.
Yeah, but then didn't fucking Aaron Boone say he was physically and mentally exhausted to the point he couldn't even put him in the field after the game?
I mean, I think it was just more of you had a ball get hit through the right side that I think Anthony Rizzo, who has how many Gold Gloves? 4, makes that play 9.9 times out of 10, didn't make the play. And I think that eventually, what was it, a 5-2 ball game? And the Jose Ramirez represented the tying run at the plate. Like, that's the last fucking guy that you want up there. Like, that situation gets created by a defensive miscue by Anthony Rizzo in the 8th inning. So I get it. You put Oswaldo Cabrera out there. That fucking guy, he can play first base. Sure. There's been plenty of teams that won championships that have defensive replacements at corner infield positions.
But isn't that kind of a wild quote to be like, why did you replace Anthony Rizzo? Well, his hand looked good. I love the way he looked sharp, looked like amazing. But I just felt like he was physically and emotionally spent to the point like this guy was a fucking train wreck.
Even if that were the case, I wouldn't want my manager to tell people that.
Yeah, emotionally spent.
Yeah, game two of the CS, and I'm toast.
Yeah, game 1.
Played 8 innings of a baseball game just physically and emotionally.
Yeah, it was game 1.
Well, look, it is October. Let's start there. So the physical and mental exhaustion is very real.
He was off the roster in the division series, and they had a bye in the wild card. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't. I understand what you guys are saying. My point that I just made was that he's been playing baseball since February this season.
No, he hasn't. He missed a lot of games this year.
And
a lot of sitting.
Abandon ship on this take.
Perspective.
I'm going to give you an out. I'm going to let you abandon ship on this take, and I'm not going to judge you for it if you just back out right now.
No, there's no backing out because of the course of a full baseball season.
No, you don't understand. I've made my point, and I'm going down with the ship.
Well, it's a valid point. If you play a full season, you're tired at the end of it.
But he hasn't. Is the point?
What do you act like he wasn't there? Like, did he just go on vacation and had nothing to do? Like, hey, buddy, you're hurt. So you know what? Instead of coming to the field and rehabilitating yourself, why did you go to
92
Cancun?
Games. He played 92 games.
Cancun? Oh, and what was he doing the other days, Jared? Was he fucking picking apples? Was he fucking scuba diving?
I'm sure he was probably doing. He wasn't playing games.
I feel like it would be more likely to hear a quote like, I'm energized by finally getting to be on the field.
Yeah.
And it being a high pressure situation. I'm not disputing what Dallas is saying, but to Joe's original point, like a weird thing to say, a weird thing to experience on some levels, and definitely a weird thing to share publicly.
I think it's a lot of word salad that probably got mixed together to try to defend the fucking fingers not feeling good. And it's like, well, here's a whole lot of shit that I maybe would like to have not said, but now that I've said it, I can't unsay it.
So
Anthony Rizzo's
should have gone with my fingers are very tired.
Yes.
Finger fatigue. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just pulled landscaping duty.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else's fingers hurt?
Good call. Good reference.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know what else is a good reference?
I would imagine it would have to be Underdog Fantasy app promo code Jared.
Nailed it. I don't even need to say anything more.
Yeah. I feel like that's right up there with some of the best, references in the world right now.
The number one.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you Google top references, it's Underdog Fantasy app promo code Jared.
That's right.
You're
Dallas,
on this, so I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. A chance to say you told us so. Anthony Rizzo in the lineup for game 2, yes or no?
Ooh, no. That's today?
So
no.
Wow, put that on a cold card. Anthony Rizzo is a pussy. Dallas Braden.
Damn.
Wow, I can't believe he said that shit. Right after I opened the conversation being like, hey, huge shout out to Anthony Rizzo for being in the lineup, getting a base hit, toughing it out. I mean, the injury was pretty recent, and he's still in there battling, and Dallas Braden has the balls to say some shit like that.
Anthony Flimsy Fingers Rizzo.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to see what Booney does here.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing is, so was it just a good night's sleep? Just a good night's sleep that did it?
You can sleep off broken fingers, I think. I've done that twice.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah, dude. 2006. Was working at Bob's store and was not having a good night. My boss told me, if you're late one more time, your employment will be terminated. And I said, you know what's going to be terminated? This fucking steel door that goes to the back room. Punched that son of a bitch. Broke my goddamn hand. And asked me if I made it for my next shift. I was in the lineup. So, you can sleep it off.
Did you file a health insurance claim through Bob's store?
I didn't know what that was back then.
Oh, I was just curious. Not
Didn't know if that was like a money grab type situation. Wasn't really on my radar.
I bet Bob would have been pissed.
Oh,
If you punched a door and then filed for workers' comp.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see how that would be an issue.
Shout out to Bob, though. I know he listens.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Bob. Yeah. Fuck yeah, Bob. Game 2 of the NLCS. Sean Manaea. Man, does it make me happy to see the Mets fans have embraced this individual. That he's having a great run in the playoffs. I thought it was a 1-year deal. I went back and looked at his contract. He actually signed a 2-year deal. He's locked in for next year. So he's going to get the hero's welcome next year. Assuming that things continue to go the way that they've been going. He's going to be a cultural phenomenon, a cult hero in Queens. As he should
in the
be.
right direction. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And pitching under the duress, the emotional duress that he's been performing under as well. Something that can't go overlooked. Obviously, we highlighted the hurdle that he's had to try to clear, he and his family, with the loss of his aunt. And you go out and perform the way he did. You're giving your team every reason to believe that when you take the ball, they have the fighting chance. Every time you take the baseball, your bullpen feels just a little bit better about the work that they're going to be able to come in and do, because more times than not, it's in a leverage situation where the game is on the line and it matters because we're winning. And that's because of what Sean Manaea has been able to do. You're talking about a rotation who is going to be missing, in my opinion, a guy that they were looking to lean on at the beginning of the season. Obviously, things with Senga went very differently. And Jayhay, you brought it up. Is it a lot to ask out of a guy who hadn't really been able to do much or establish much at this point? Maybe. But all that being said, you're going to look for somebody to step up and fill a void. And what's the void? Who's the frontline guy? Who's the ace, if you're going to label him that right now? Who's the dude for us? And right now it's Sean Manaea.
He is that dude.
Which says a lot given how well Jose Quintana is pitching.
Yeah, also true.
Obviously, his performance is ace level. But I got to say, like, I almost had to like make sure that I was looking at the right box score when I checked the game after. Obviously, I watched the game. That was like the most dominant 5 innings pitched 3-run outing I think I've ever seen. Manaea yesterday.
The way he undressed, because he absolutely twice undressed Ohtani. Undressed. When's the last time you saw Ohtani swing at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball like it was shot out of a fucking warhead? Like that ball that he swung through from Manaea looked like Manaea threw it 194 miles an hour. Ohtani had less than 0 chance at that pitch. Less than 0. And you can see, and shout out to Manaea for making the adjustments that he's made. I highlighted the mental adjustment that he had made, going from like being just a awesome dude and a nice guy, and that almost kind of hanging around on the mound, where he would probably be better served to just tell you to go fuck yourself when he's on the mound. Well, he's getting a feel for that, a really good feel for that. But he's also understanding himself physically, and he's starting to understand and pay attention to the game on a different level. Well, he's now making the adjustments, with his release and his delivery, rubber orientation. And it's all in an effort to maximize his resources, his tools, but how he's able to deploy those and what it does to the hitter. We talk about him basically taking the blueprint from Chris Sale and applying it in real time and going out and having success. That's like us standing on the driving range and watching video of swings that you would like to take to the course with you. Like I want to swing like Justin Thomas. I want to swing like Bryson DeChambeau. Okay. And then you do it. And then you do it for your entire round. And now off the box, instead of like your fucking 270, cute 280 average, whatever it might be, now you're striping that bitch, you're piping it 390. You're like, well, this is completely different than anything I had anticipated. But it's working, and we're going to keep doing this. So Sean Manaea has taken every bit of his game, mental, physical, everything in between. He's just taken it to the next level at the most pivotal time.
Unrelated, but I guess kind of related. I just saw that Juan Soto was nominated for a Gold Glove Award, which is why nobody takes the award seriously. Kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he's fine, but like he's not a Gold Glove Award winner or finalist. He's not even a finalist.
No.
No.
It's funny because it's not like he came in with the reputation of an excellent defensive player either.
No.
So just, I don't want people listening here that this is Jared's Yankee bias coming into play or something like that.
No.
Among qualified, he was -1 defensive run saved.
Yankee bias? Like anti-Yankee bias?
No, well, currently pro.
Yeah, I'm saying he doesn't deserve. That's like me being objective. He doesn't deserve to be a Gold Glove finalist.
It just depends on what time of the year we're having this conversation, I guess.
As someone who has picked the Yankees in 4 in this series and looks the smartest on the panel, and we're going to get there. But, I mean, no one looking smarter than me picking Yankees in 4. I mean, the Guardians don't look like they belong in Major League Baseball. Like they look like they
Clip it off, guys.
Relegated.
This will be the new This is going to be the new Padres over Dodgers, folks.
The Guardians look like a bunch of clowns out there.
It was
This is the best the American League has to offer.
Yes.
These jackasses.
Yeah, that's right. Makes it even more pathetic that nobody else could clear this bar, doesn't it?
It really does. It's really upsetting that the American League, the World Series, whoever makes it out of the National League, I'm picking a sweep there.
You're going to take the NL team to sweep the Yanks? It's not whoever makes it. Yeah, over the Yankees. Yeah. So you'll take the Mets to sweep the Yankees if that's the way this is going?
Sweep. Yeah.
I'll say
the American League
though.
Sucks.
Like, if you look at the Guardians right now, I feel like they're really relying on their bullpen. And then when you get into these 7-game series, that plan just isn't as effective when it's a 3 or a 5-game series where that actually may be advantage towards you. But if you look at all the teams that have left and talking about 7-game series, World Series, CSs, Yankees might be in the best spot to win it all just based off their starters.
I mean, if Rodon pitches like that moving forward, yeah, but normally he's a shit bum.
Well, you got Rodon. You got Rodon and Cole.
And you also got people like Stroman back there who could get it done.
No.
You got guys like Stroman who could get it done, Jayhay.
Get what done? Get me 2 outs?
Get you 4 fucking innings.
4 innings of 4-run ball.
When another team is pulling out fucking, like the Dodgers last night. The Dodgers just said, like, we'll just take 4 of our worst pitchers and pitch them and see what happens. Because if we don't do this game, we're going to get fucked down the road in a more important game. Like, compared to that, pitching Marcus Stroman to start a game is that's amazing.
Sure, but we would have said the exact same thing prior to the last Dodgers bullpen game where they limited the Padres to 0 runs and completely turned the tide of the series. So
I'm not saying, a bullpen game, like, that's fine. But like the Dodgers last night, I wouldn't even call that a bullpen game. They did not pitch any of their good guys. They pitched guys who, like, let's see who they pitched.
All right.
I mean, Brazier.
Brazier started the previous bullpen game.
But Knack, Honeywell, Enriquez. I mean, Banda and Brazier have been used in situations this year.
All right,
but the other three,
hold on. I'm going to put it out there right now. I'm going to put it out there right fucking now. I'm going to give the panel a chance to amend their predictions. If anyone would like to back off and amend. Dallas has Dodgers in 6. That feels safe. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm not amending a fucking thing, pal.
All right. Jayhay has Dodgers in 5.
Yeah.
So you don't have the Mets winning another game.
Amend this, baby.
Okay. Joey, you have Dodgers in 6. That feels safe. Okay. You're going to stay right there?
I'm staying.
Okay. I'm staying with Mets in 6. I'm the only person that picked the Mets. Only one that had some fucking balls on this podcast. In the Yankees and Guardians series, there might be some amending going on. Because Dallas went Guardians in 6.
That's a good pick.
Are you staying there, Dal?
I'm staying there.
Loser. Jayhay, Guards in 7. You serious?
Can I go Guards in 8?
I don't think you can.
Okay. Then I'm going to stay.
Staying with Guardians in 7. Then Joe's got Yankees in 7. You think it's going to take 7 games to beat these fucking idiots?
I don't, bro. And I might have to, instead of an amendment, upgrade.
Okay. What
and
is
ride
that?
with Jared on the Yankees World Series.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And it's not even, I'm not even saying it to be funny, bro. I'm riding with my Yanks. I'm already putting in my World Series pick Yankees.
Wait. Let me get a point of clarification here. Because you had already picked the Yankees to win this series. So you already had the Yankees in the World Series. You're picking them to win it?
He's picking them to win the World Series.
Okay, yes. Jared's not picking that. Jared said that the NL team is going to sweep the Yankees. So you're not riding with Jared.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
We're rivals now.
Breaking news. Holy shit. Joe, this happened while you were here. Yeah.
Well, now that I
Talk
think
shit
about it,
on
he
me
did
for not knowing the days. Buddy, this was real. This happened.
Yeah, this is
oh
10
my
minutes ago.
God.
When he said that. But he's been riding with his Yanks all playoffs, so I just kind of assumed like, oh, Yanks World Series. But
No,
I'm not being
Royals.
critical of you. I just want to make sure that you know exactly what you're riding with.
I've been
appreciate that
wrong. I've
clarification.
been wrong about every series, I think.
Then you're
I
due,
can't
brother.
remember the wild card picks.
I think you were wrong.
I'm pretty sure they're right.
I think
about
I was
every-
wrong about all of them except for like, I think what the fuck were the wild card matchups? I don't even remember at this point. It feels like
Braves
a month ago.
They just dissolve into history, don't they?
I think I picked the
Right.
Padres. I had the Padres. Yep. I think I had Houston, so that's a loss.
The other one was Brewers
Mets.
Mets, right?
I picked the Mets. All right, so I was hot. I was too hot, apparently. Got cooled off with my division series picks. But yeah, Yankees in 4. I'm going to drill that one.
You're staying?
Oh, yeah. I
Wow.
wish I could pick them in 3. Yeah.
I figured you'd go to 5 or 6 or maybe even 7.
No.
Kinda hedge yourself
What
a little.
about last night's game makes me feel like I should move off Yankees in 4.
The fact that they only won by 3 runs and the Guardians committed 5 wild pitches.
Well, they took the foot off the gas. They were like,
Well-
we feel bad for these guys. Like they
I think
shouldn't
you
be
take
here.
those wild pitches away, it's a whole different ball game. That's how I'm
Very
seeing it
different
right
You
now.
ball
know?
game.
I guess, yeah.
Very
If you
different.
take the Yankees runs off the board, they lose.
That's right.
That's a good
absolutely right.
take. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If
It
you
would have
just
been a whole
take,
different game if we just kind of make Joey Cantillo disappear.
Mm-hmm. I wish I could have been at that game last night, but I didn't download the Game Time app in
I'm
time.
glad I didn't go.
Yeah. Because Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer that it gets the first pitch, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Jake, are you going to a game or no?
I think I'm going to Game 4. I'm heading down to New York right after this pod.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Yeah, fuck yeah, Jake. Yeah.
Get it in you.
That a boy, Jake. You taking the Amtrak?
Taking the Amtrak, baby.
There you go. Love that Amtrak. Love that Amtrak. We got a funny Amtrak story after this read. Definitely don't want them to tie together. Curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. Save even more when you choose a section and you let Game Time choose the seats for you. You toggle that all-in pricing feature, and it'll show the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. The lowest price guarantee, your Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. Take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time and more with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, use the promo code BID for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. I just want to revisit the ALCS conversation real quick. It was bad. It was not a fun watch. I get the Juan Soto home run. I believe that's his first Yankees postseason homer.
Mm-hmm.
And you have Alex Cobb out there not pissing his pants because I think he was just hurt. Like, I think like this is a guy that had hip surgery and he's had fingernail, whatever the fuck.
We're talking about
issues.
a decade in between postseason starts.
Yeah, Alex Cobb. I mean, what were you really expecting there? Not a whole lot. As your game one starter, that's why it's an unserious franchise. If that's who, but I honestly, you know what? If I can just pause the bit for 1 second, I think the guards have a really good chance of taking the next two.
Shut up.
Bybee and Boyd. Bybee and Boyd. Boyd's been awesome this postseason.
I would feel a lot better about the Bybee opportunity if it wasn't head to head against Garrett Cole.
Well, Garrett Cole sucked.
You guys own Garrett Cole.
Cole had one good start. Yeah, one good start.
It's the opposite of owning Garrett Cole. It's basically he's owned the Guardians. So
okay.
I'm not super optimistic about that. If we're gonna have a real conversation, it is absolute. There is a level of unforgivability. There's a new word for you. That Alex Cobb and Matt Boyd are playing such central roles in the Guardians postseason push because
Boyd's been good.
Come on, man. Come on.
He's been good.
This is part and parcel of the same thing. This is the fact that that two guys who spent no time with the team during the regular season, essentially, not like time, like bonding time, but like weren't factors in their regular season and were just cheap injury waiver throws or acquisitions that they picked up. It is disappointing because there's so much about this team to like and that is good enough to be on this stage relative to their counterparts in the American League, as much as we'd like to joke about it, and that they're counting on Alex Cobb in game one against the Yankees is disheartening and an indication that this team is willing to go only so far in pursuit of a championship, which is stuff I've talked about here plenty of times.
Right. And that's not foreign. That's not new. No. Different messaging. No, I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying this to Jared.
It's not foreign, but it is. The specifics are unique this season because while you can point to like general lack of spending with the Guardians and be like, oh, they came up, like if they'd had that one piece, might we be having a different conversation right now? I certainly have had those conversations during the previous championship window, including 2016. But like with this team, it is obviously the offense has its problems, but that starting pitchers, Alex Cobb has really no business, all due respect, starting game one of an ALCS game in 2024. It just shouldn't be happening. And that they are relegated to making that sort of choice is, I think, a unique data point within Cleveland's lack of spending and how that's cost them overall, because they've always had the starting pitching. They've almost always had the starting, at least the post 90s era. Mm-hmm. And that this is the situation it is tough. That was a tough watch, to Jared's point. I think that's true. And you just had the sense that, we can say what we want about Rodon, but they felt outclassed.
I have a harsher take.
Start.
I have a harsher take.
Go ahead.
It doesn't feel like the ALCS because the quality of opponent is so poor.
I think that's respectfully, I don't think that holds up historically at all. I don't think a 92 win team being in the ALCS.
Well, here you are saying Alex Cobb and Matthew Boyd.
That's okay. Those are two players on the teams. I think if we went back and looked at who's been participating in the ALCS
games 1 and 3, those are the starters that you're trotting out there.
Okay, I've been critical about those players and the fact that Cleveland is in a position to rely on them. The overall quality of the team, run differential, win-loss, not really that big of an outlier for an LCS participant.
I mean, the Yankees scored over 100 more runs than the Guardians.
Bro, dude, the Diamondbacks were in the World Series last season. The Rangers, who won fewer regular season games last season than the Guardians won this season, won the World Series.
Well, the Diamondbacks were a 6 seed wild card. Like, this is a division winning number 3 seed?
But we're talking about who's participating in the LCS. It doesn't matter how they got there.
It just doesn't feel. It doesn't have a big fight feel to it. It doesn't have a big fight feel to it.
I think we were saying the exact same thing last season. We were saying the exact same thing about how these LCS matchups lacked the appropriate amount of juice.
Who was in the LCS last year?
Diamondbacks and Phillies were one side.
The Phillies.
And if you're going to tell me that the Diamondbacks,
Rangers, Astros.
Right.
Oh, so that at least had like the whole like Texas thing to it.
They had some juice. They had some beef going on.
They had some beef.
There was no real beef there. There was nobody can name one element of beef that occurred during that series. Name it.
They threw that. Adolis Garcia got drilled and the benches cleared.
Yeah, they cleared the benches like 3 times last season throughout the entire year.
Yeah.
Point being, this LCS is not in any way an outlier quality-wise to what we recently saw.
I know,
if a 90-win team win the World Series and beat an 87-win team in the World Series?
If the Yankees,
the World Series last year.
If the Yankees are going to go to the World Series and win the whole thing,
you're upset because it's the Yankees. That's what's happening.
No.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if it's the Yankees that are going to go to the World Series and win it, it's kind of like how in 2004, it's like, we want, like, if we're going to break the curse and win the World Series, we have to go through the Yankees. Like, the Yankees have been in the ALCS 4 times in the last 8 years, and it's almost always Houston that they run into in the LCS, and then Houston fucking snuffs them out. Like, this is all with Aaron Judge since 2017. It's like, all right, 2017, Houston, fucking take a seat. 2019, Houston, take a seat. And then they're getting swept in, 22, Houston. Like that, if the Aaron Judge Yankees are going to win a World Series, it just felt like they should have to go through Houston. I want it to be Houston, not fucking Cleveland.
Houston, who won fewer games than the Guardians this year.
We're talking narrative. We're talking storyline.
2023 ALCS was between 2 90-win teams. The 2023 NLCS was against an 84-win Diamondbacks team and a 90-win Phillies team. That's just last season. The 22 NLCS was against 2 teams that didn't win 90 games.
That's the difference between Red Sox fans and Yankee fans. Is in 2004, we wanted to go through the Yankees to win the World Series. Like, if we're going to do this, if we're going to break the curse, it has to go through the fucking Yankees. We have to beat the Yankees. Yankee fans are like, we'll be happy to beat Cleveland and the Royals. We just want to win one with Judge. They don't want to go through Houston.
You saying that the Guardians in 2024 are not as good as the cheating Astros in 2017?
Whoa! The Astros haven't cheated in several years.
No one is claiming that this is a historically great ALCS.
No,
but what it is not is an outlier as it relates to the quality of the participants in the ALCS.
I'm just
are the Yankees better?
After watching Game 1, it just doesn't feel like the ALCS.
I think you are trying to take away from the Yankees' accomplishment.
No,
by degrading and slandering a very proud Cleveland organization.
I'm proud. I'm proud that those fans are proud. You know, it's like when your son sucks on the little league team. You still got to go to the games and clap, though, right? I'm proud that parent is proud of their son that's not good.
Rob Manfred has ensured that we're getting LCS matchups that feature these sorts of teams all the time. And a 94-win team against a 92-win team is actually a strong LCS relative to the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Did you see
Glad you
that
pointed that
they
out.
already have the Yankees Dodgers like World Series hype videos? Like they're already playing those commercials. Like there was a
I
commercial.
didn't see that. No.
Oh yeah, last night, like during the ALCS, there was a commercial that was like once in a lifetime player versus also once in a lifetime player, and it was like Judge and Ohtani, and it's like, well, when else would that happen? I feel like that's not the All-Star game they're talking about. So yeah, they were basically already running the commercials.
Here's a question for you, and maybe it's a dumb question.
Mhm.
Maybe we can start with Joey since it's in his aforementioned wheelhouse.
Okay.
If you're running Major League Baseball central office, Rob Manfred's right-hand man in charge of ratings, let's say VP of ratings, let's say that's a position. Are you rooting for Yankees Mets or are you rooting for Yankees Dodgers?
I'd say, Bobby, we got to do whatever we can do to get Yankees Dodgers. 1,000% it's Yankees Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only reason I ask is because when we were talking about the rating stuff earlier, basically all of the LCS related highest since stuff that at least that I was finding and that you were talking about was highest since 2015. And the common theme there is the Mets participating in the postseason. And so I was just curious if, like, I know obviously you're sacrificing some West Coast viewership.
Well, that was Mets
for
Mets versus Dodgers in that DS.
Right. But I'm saying the Dodgers have participated in the LCS and LDS many times in between those two, and that this is the highest since the last time the Mets were in the postseason, or at this level at least. Just struck me as kind of interesting. It's almost crazy that the central office may be disappointed by an outcome of the Subway Series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Shohei needle moving numbers are legit, and
It's real. It's very real, man. You can't do like if you've been to a Dodger game lately, if you've been to a Dodger game over like especially this season, like it's not weird to me at all because I go to Dodger games. But the advertisement space that's being filled and that's running consistently, I don't think you have a true appreciation for how much of a thumbprint the Japanese culture has on this organization, not only in its marketability, but its fandom. And I mean, it's not lost on me. Like I said, I'm in the backyard. They're fucking right there, 20 minutes that way. So I've watched it. Like, dude, it is as real as anything you could ever dream up.
Did you see the freaking watching the Dodgers lose to the Mets yesterday? All right, game's over. Turn it on to the Yankees, and what do you got? A Shohei ad right behind home plate in a game he's not even playing in. Aaron Judge at the plate. We got Shohei behind him, advertising Shohei at a game.
Yep.
If Shohei hits a bomb, then it goes to commercial. It's him on doing the commercial for New Balance, or whatever 3 other brands he doesn't.
Good. More Shohei.
It would be like if Justin Verlander or Clayton Kershaw, let's say they could also hit too. It'd be like they went over to Japan and Southwest Airlines was like, you know what we're going to start doing? We're starting to take people direct to Japan for these games. You want to watch Verlander and Kershaw? Wear your ticket to get there and watch it happen. And then Spirit Airlines is like, fuck, I think that might be a good idea. We want to jump on that too. We're into it. They got multiple airlines, like people movers that are like, this is where we need to be here because this is where there's going to be money to be made here. That's what this dude brings to the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we knew Shohei was good, but that context definitely makes it more clear. And that's what MLB wants. They want Judge versus Shohei. And if they get it, great. I think, you know how pissed MLB will be if they get Mets Guardians? I mean, they'll be happy about the Mets story, but I mean,
then it's just a full-scale, full frontal assault on turning Jose Ramirez into as much of a household name as he could become.
Yeah. Yeah. What's cooking up in that brain, Jay?
Hey, listen, I mean, I think Mets Guardians would be a great series. I wouldn't hate that. To be honest.
It'd be a fine series.
I don't think it would be that bad in terms of like. I mean, wouldn't be worse than last year. Rangers.
I think if we could
Diamondbacks.
simulate it, if we could simulate what the ratings would be for all the combinations of World Series matchups, Yankees Dodgers would probably 10x Mets Guardians.
No.
5x.
No.
Yes.
Maybe double, but I'd even doubt it would be double.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong. So
Fine. That's all right.
Well, there you have it.
yeah, we run different simulations, obviously. Jake, book Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Get to the bottom of TV ratings.
Yeah.
No one even knows how these fucking things work anyway.
No, it's made
You know,
up.
like they like put some people. There's like 10,000 people with a box on their TV that tracks it, and then we could extrapolate those 10K people who are watching cable and getting tracked against the population, and we know exactly. Oh yeah, 3.4 million.
Jake, book
Shit's fake.
Nielsen.
All right. ALCS game 2 tonight. Garrett Cole on the mound. Tanner Bybee going for the guards, as previously mentioned. Expectations for tonight's game. I'll start with Jayhay, who thinks that the guards are going to win the next 4 straight, apparently. Go ahead.
No. I'm envisioning more of maybe a down 0-2 scenario, and then they storm back and maybe win 3, and then maybe it's like a Yankees take game 6 in Cleveland, and then they go back to the Bronx, and the Guardians are hailed as national heroes for knocking off the Yankees.
Well, game
Game
6
7.
and 7 would both be in the Bronx.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Different sport.
yeah, different sport. Well, then that's going to be a tall task for the guards.
Yeah.
Jokes aside about today, I don't feel great. I don't feel great about it. I think Garrett Cole has a long history of dominating the Guardians since 2022 in 7 starts, including the postseason. He has a 1.80 ERA in 45 innings pitched. And as admirably as Tanner Bybee has pitched, there's, basically nowhere to go but up from the Cobb Cantillo situation yesterday. I'm going to pick the guards because I don't want to be a loser. But I think I may be a loser.
I say Cole gives up a crucial homer. Bybee gives you 15 outs, and the Horsemen are able to do their job.
Yeah,
Love that confidence.
Cole had some near homers in Kansas City.
I understand.
Like, these were homers in other ballparks, most certainly in Yankee Stadium. So for as much as Carlos Rodon wants to blow Garrett Cole for that start in Kansas City, it wasn't that good. At Yankee Stadium, that's 5 Ernies. So,
and I don't view Garrett Cole like, I'm looking at him as an opposing postseason starter. I don't view him in the same light that I did last year or a couple of years ago. And I think I'm not sure anybody does right now, but I do think that given everything we've talked about of some of the absolute schmucks that are starting postseason games, whether that's relievers or starters, and guys who maybe shouldn't be doing that, Garrett Cole is a guy who absolutely should be doing it. And I think in the context of 2024, there are still not very many pitchers remaining in the postseason, and perhaps 0 that I have more confidence in than Garrett Cole. Seriously, just step back. Can it name the starting pitcher who's participating in the 24 postseason still?
That's the lead dog. That's the lead dog.
Definitively more confidence in.
That's the lead dog.
It does feel a little weird to say that, given how shaky his season was and that he's not totally the same guy.
Who else you rolling with?
Who are you rolling with?
Manaea Flaherty? Those are the next 2?
Manaea, Flaherty, Yamamoto, Quintana.
Quintana's been lights out, but
The thing about think about how many names it took us to go from Garrett Cole to Quintana. Garrett Cole to Quintana. There's 2 names in between that.
That's where we're at right now.
pitching chaos. It's a beautiful sight to see.
Scooble was that guy until Lane Thomas.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
He's not that guy anymore.
He ain't that guy.
I'm saying in the
Lane-
postseason. He's the guy who made you feel that way.
Yeah.
Right up until he didn't.
That means Lane Thomas is now the guy. And that's
right,
why
Lane-
I'm going with the Guardians tonight. I think Lane
Oh,
Thomas
the
gets a big hit.
guards.
I think
Guards.
Lane Thomas gets a big hit. I mean, we honestly, as a Guardians fan, we need fucking Josh Naylor to get his head in the game because he's been looking terrible. And if you don't have Josh Naylor, I know they got Rokio who's hitting amazing, Lane Thomas hitting amazing, but if
Great heads up play by Rokio, by the way. We didn't get into that. I gotta go.
amazing.
Incredible play. Incredible
Dallas final
baseball IQ play.
Yeah.
I love that play from Rokio, and I hope that what we get out of Bibby today, I've said it, it's all about with the starters that are left, who's able to get 15 outs from the guy that starts the ball game. If you think he can get you 15 outs, do you get 15 outs from him? So can we get 15 from Bibby today if you're the Guardians? If so, you got a much better shot to win the ball game than I think you give your chance or you give yourself credit for.
Okay. Dallas is going to use his Navage right now. That's where he's going.
I'm gone.
Yeah, clear out those nostrils, Dallas. Good job, buddy.
But I'd be remiss not to point out that it's a revenge game. Garrett Cole, Josh Naylor. Last time they faced the playoffs, Naylor called him his little baby boy, rocked the cradle around the bases, and told him he was small. So I think if he gets to face Garrett Cole again, that could wake Naylor up. But I mean, the Guardians need Naylor.
He hasn't done dick, and he's had some pretty ugly at bats. Like
Oh my God.
he's exiting stage left about as quickly as possible. He's swinging out of the zone. He is maybe seeing 3.6 pitches per plate appearances. Like I'm gonna actually like find that. I want to know that exact number because it's gotta be around 4 and change pitches per plate appearance this fucking October.
I know we shouldn't bring up players' weights. That's off limits.
Yeah.
But I feel like Naylor's put on like 40 pounds since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, he doesn't look great, but
No, I'm not saying no. That looks to me that's good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that he got fat. Like being fat, actually, a guy like you're muted, Jayhay. But like,
No, I'm just not talking into my mic.
Okay,
It's,
a guy like that, like maybe affects his defense's base running. But you got Naylor in there to hit fucking nukes. So if he
Jay, I
gains,
fucking nailed it. 3.4
wow.
pitches per plate appearances this postseason.
so he's being aggressive. He's attacking early in counts.
He's hitting 167 with a 375 OPS.
Well,
I mean, he's ill-suited to be the number 2 offensive player on a good team. Joe Ram's a clear number 1, but like this team would really benefit from Josh Naylor being like this 5th or 6th hitter instead of a much more central player than he is. That looked like a really good idea through like June. Since then, it's been a little more dicey.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. He is seeing 3.5 pitches per plate appearance, and he's striking out 25% of the time.
I mean, that strikeout rate doesn't bother me if there's pop behind it, but there's none of that.
Yeah,
So
there's none of that.
well, did you see the clip of him in the celebration, like being frozen with the beers on his head?
I did not.
Go look that up. It's a great clip. Naylor's an all-time fucking.
I
He's
like
one of those-
Naylor. I like Naylor.
I love
but
Naylor.
It would be
He's a
so cool
psycho.
to have your
I
brother
like
on your
him.
team.
I like him a lot, but when he comes to the plate, I have almost no confidence that something major is going to happen
Until he gets hot, bro.
until he gets hot.
What
Until
about Giancarlo Stanton? Are you scared of him
Yeah, you should be in the
Yeah.
playoffs. My God,
now?
playoff Giancarlo, he's a different breed, but that's because he probably uses Navage. And breathing is the most essential act of our bodies. It's why congestion, sinuses, allergies, and colds can take a big toll on our well-being. But nasal hygiene isn't often part of our everyday routines, but it should be. That's why I've been loving my Navage nasal care unit. Navage makes breathing easier, and quickly has become part of my daily routine, just like brushing my teeth. Navage believes every breath should feel effortless. It uses smooth saline flow and gentle patented nasal suction to clear nasal passages. Plus, it's drug-free and uses 99.9% pure saline salt pods with no medicinal side effects. It works as fast as 30 seconds. Been using it since the postseason started. Feels amazing. It's quick, painless, and beneficial. Start breathing easier today. Order your Navage starter pack It comes with everything you need to get started. Trust me, you will love this. Plus, our listeners get a free cleaning kit as a gift, but only when you order through our exclusive URL. That is navage.com/BID and use the promo code BID. Again, to order your Navage and get free cleaning kit. And for full product details, go to navage.com/BID. That's promo code BID at navage.com/BID. Okay. So Jayhay, you have the Guards winning tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Got a problem with that?
No. I mean, I hate when you're wrong about stuff because it makes me uncomfortable, but it is what it is.
Guard series aren't good for that then.
Mm-mm.
Maybe we'll get through this and then we can get back to being right in the World Series.
Yeah. Joe, you got the Guards tonight?
I'm gonna go with the Guards but to me it's a coin flip. Any of these games, anything can happen. But it's really big game for Bybee because I feel like the Guardians, they basically right now kind of only have one starting pitcher. If we're being realistic, and now they're saying Alex Cobb's a little banged up. So you need to win it. You need to win it if you're Bybee. You need to win it if you're the Guardians. So I think they do it.
I think they feel pretty damn good about themselves if they can go back to Cleveland 1-1. I think they feel amazing about that, especially if Bybee's the guy that continues to pitch well. If he's a guy that you can count on to be a 6-inning, 2-earned run guy, then they're feeling pretty damn good about going back to Cleveland tied up. So, all right, Jake, when are we back?
We are back on Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, which means that you guys will get the pod around lunchtime-ish on Thursday. We'll be breaking down all the games between tonight and until Wednesday night. All right, enjoy your LCS action. Thank you guys for watching. Tell a friend about BID. Make sure you tell your baseball fan friends about Baseball is Dead. Check out baseballisdeadmerch.com for your Baseball is Dead merch. Jayhay, do you have any nuggets to send us home?
I do. Quickly, based on what you saw last night, Guardians are the first team in postseason history to have a game with 7 walks, 5 wild pitches, and at least 1 home run allowed. So congrats to them. Giancarlo Stanton's homer is the first one by a Yankees player in the 7th inning while up by 3 runs in a postseason game. I got real bored last night. Since Reggie Jackson took Bob Welch deep in Game 6 of the 1978 World Series, Carlos Rodon is the 5th pitcher in Yankees franchise history to have a start featuring 9 or more strikeouts and 0 walks in the postseason, along with Cole, CeCe, Hiroki Kuroda, and Roger Clemens. Joey Cantillo joined Rick Ankiel, ominous, as the only pitchers to have 4 or more wild pitches in a postseason game. Juan Soto, the 3rd Yankees player with a go-ahead homer in the 3rd inning of an ALCS game. A-Rod in 2004 and Jim Leyritz in 96, the others. Flipping over to the other side, Mark Vientos, the 4th player in Mets history, age 24 or younger, to have 3 or more homers in a single postseason, joining Conforto in 2015 and both Darryl Strawberry and Lenny Dykstra in 86. He also hit the 11th Grand Slam in NLCS history. Francisco Lindor, the 10th shortstop with a home run in Game 2 of an NLCS, joining Matt Williams, Jeff Blauser, Rich Aurelia, Alex Gonzalez, Miguel Cabrera, Addison Russell, Orlando Arcia. Corey Seager did it twice in consecutive seasons, and Trey Turner in 2023. And those are the Nugs.
Joseph, final thoughts?
Keep your head in the game. We got a good game 2 tonight. We got a game 3 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
My players to watch for
are
Giancarlo Stanton tonight and tomorrow. Walker Buehler starting in New York, a little scary for me as a Dodgers fan. This series could very well be 2-1 for the Mets.
Wow.
But everybody just keep their head up, keep their head in the game, and stay focused and get your rest because, don't want to end up like Anthony Rizzo out there.
Right.
And, keep your head in the game.
Yep, please keep your head in the game. That's big time. Jake's takes?
Just hope Milky doesn't catch wind of these first 5 minutes because he got absolutely dragged on this pod.
Yeah, he did. But he deserves it. He deserves it. All right, we'll see you guys on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Love you guys. Bye.
We all.